Okay, I want to welcome you to my first video. This is a video training of how to use the day trading lines to your advantage. This is the way that I trade. I'm not sure if a lot of other people adapt the same way. The only reason why I adapted this way is I'm always looking for, I'm sorry, for the first time that I started day trading, I started these lines, the support lines, resistant lines, and I was looking for pricing points on how the stock reacted on certain levels. Once I charted that, I actually left it there and noticed that it actually helped me the next time the stock actually traded in that price range. So therefore, I started leaving these lines for a long, I started leaving these lines for a while, and they've helped out time and time again. What I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you a daily chart that actually shows all of the lines that I'm talking about. Some of them I've deleted it and some of them I haven't. And actually, if you see here, you see I have different colors. There's the green, there's the purple, orange, orange, white, white. The different color lines mean that they have some type of importance, meaning there was a big price shift from that pricing point. So that's why you see a different level in the green line. Again, none of these lines I've made today. Today being Monday, but I'm actually going to take a step back and actually chart from Friday. I want to show you Friday's action and then today's action. Then I'm going to go back to Thursday's action. Um, so I want to show you this daily chart on what I mean about these lines. I will not delete these lines because they help. These are all of my day trading lines from the pricing area of 148 region all the way to 167 region. You see this little gap here in between the pricing. That's only because whenever the stock actually reaches a 52-week high, I call that uncharted territory. The only reason why I call it uncharted territory is because I've never charted the stock in that area before. So now I have to create new lines in order in order to help me out in the long run. So as you see here, there's a gap in between the price. That's because there's a gap that needs to be filled. The stock actually skipped this pricing range when I charted the stock. You see this blue line here just means that there's a gap that needs to be filled. So I put the blue line there just to let me know once the stock falls down in that area that that's an important level, and it's going to be a gap fill. Of course, it'll be a gap fill down to this white line. You probably can't see it because it's bunched up with a lot of other different lines. There was almost a gap fill here, but not complete, as it actually bounced on this green line here, which is the 50-day moving average. So I'm going to go back to the daily chart. I'm sorry, the minute chart. All right, just trying to back up here. Well, you know what? Let me start from today. And again, excuse me if I'm jumping around. This is my first video. And just, of course, it's going to be a learning experience for me too, because this is my first video. So if I stumble over words or anything, please forgive me. I will get better as I continue to do these training videos. Alright, so this is the pricing action today. Again, I did not draw any of these lines today. These lines have been in effect probably for 2 weeks or whenever the stock was already trading in this area. That's exactly when I charted these lines. As you see here, I have this green line, these two green lines here, where the cursor is. Look at the pricing, or look at how the stock,
'Cause I don't know what to do. 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 I don't
reacts to these levels. Look at that. Couldn't get higher off of here, but actually used this level as support. Got higher here. Couldn't stay above that level. Hit again right below it. Bounced almost right off of this line, right above it. But again, it could not maintain this higher green level. After that, it fell. And it fell. Notice how it bounced on this orange line. Again, how it bounced off of the purple line, which really means that, you know, this level held some nice pricing action before. And usually when I color lines like that, that usually tells me that if a stock is having trouble with that line or that level, if it breaks through, then there's a big bull run. If it falls and fails, then it can be a big bearish run. So we see here, this was a nice this was a nice bear run, as it could not get above this purple line after a couple more touches, fell, and it failed to hold this line here, bouncing right in this region. So that right there is almost about $1 gain. So that's a pretty good drop there. That was actually tradable. There was no support level here that I've actually charted. So of course, if I'm day trading this, I'm looking at this level and this level to get back above in order to go with calls. So as you see here, it got right back above this line. Couldn't get above this line. Bounced around in here. This could have been a good buy level. And you see how the stock actually took off from that point. Bounced around here off this green line, but actually closed right above this purple line. So notice how that these lines actually play a role. Now, I want to show you how these lines actually played a role in previous days. The good thing about these charts, or not these charts, but the lines that I've actually created. Alright, not sure why my computer's going very slow. Bear with me for a second. Okay. Think I got it. Alright. Now, this here is the previous Friday. This is Friday's pricing action. As you see here, look at where the stock actually took off from. This orange line, which actually played a role here too. This purple line acted as resistance. It actually played a role here too. This green line actually played a role here. But look at this. It could not get above this green line. Got above the purple line, but could not get above this green line. Once it hit there, it fell significantly, bouncing off this white line. I made an uptrend line because I noticed a pattern of the stock making higher highs. So what I usually do is, for a trend line, I normally look for 3 touches of a trend line in order to call it a trend line. You know, an uptrend line or a downtrend line. So I look for 3 touches at least, and I got that here. I got 1, 2, 3 touches there. You can actually count this as a touch, as it could not hold and it broke through that uptrend line, but managed to get right back above this uptrend line and become wedged with the support level that I've actually charted. Couldn't hold this support level, actually breaking to the upside. It actually broke to the downside and fell right back on this white lower support line. And again, I found another uptrend line. So I charted it, and I stopped charting this trend line here and actually extended it with this yellow line here. When I extended it, the stock actually made 1, 2, which is right here, 3, 4, 5 touches, actually 6. There was 6 touches here, and it actually continued to touch here and also here, and again breaking the uptrend line just like it did here. So this would have been tradable if the stock could not get back above this line, as it did here too, as it became wedged in between these two levels. So once you've seen this resistance here, knowing the bearishness of the market, that could have been a good short. Short it, and then you could have had this as a gain, which is almost about 75 cents of a gain, which is actually really good. And so you see this level here, this white line is actually giving it some support. Back above, couldn't hold the white line, and ended here. This yellow line represents the close. This is what the close would be for the next trading day. So that's what that's where the stock closed. So of course, there is a gap in this area in the SPY. The gap was not filled here. So there's still a gap that needs to be closed at the 163.19 area. Now, I could chart that, but at this point, if I actually didn't have these lines before and I started charting today's action, then I would use the previous day to actually chart my lines, and I would actually mark this as a gap to be filled. But I'm not going to chart it as a gap that needs to be filled, because now I'm going to write myself a note to know that there's still a gap that needs to be filled in this area. Now, again, I want to show you the day before Friday, which was Thursday, and pricing action again around these levels that I've charted. Alright, so since we're basing it off this level here from Friday, then I'll start here. You see the pricing action in between these two white lines? These lines work. They really do work. Look at this. Bounced. It was trying to get above this white line and broke above this white line. All these lines play roles in each one of these days. Here, this purple line again. This purple line again, heavy pricing action at this level. On Thursday, it was used. On Friday, it was used. Especially on Monday, it actually opened above this level, actually using it as resistance and here too as support. So that's why I color certain lines. But again, I did not color this line on any of these 3 days. I'll let you look at a 2-minute chart which shows another day. And look how this purple line still played a role in this day too. It actually opened up right around this level. Use a 3-minute chart. I'm sorry. Alright, so the 3-minute chart. This is the next day. Look at this pricing level here. Could not hold this level. This purple line represents a really strong level for me trading wise. If for Thursday, if the stock is having trouble at this purple line, I will use this as a good put signal. So if I want to be bearish with the market, I would use that level as a good position to enter in any shorts. And then I will ride it, of course, to either, my next levels that I have here. And then I'll show you another one. This is the 5-minute chart, showing a couple more days. We were here. I showed you this one. So now look at this. Look at this. This is on May the 10th. Sorry, June the 10th. Notice how, again, this purple line played a really nice role in this day's trading. Support, bounced, hit this brown line here, which didn't play a role yet in the pricing action. It actually hasn't gotten back above this level since June 10th. But it actually touched this the orange or brown line. But this level here is key. This is a very key level. Every time it's passed through this level, there's a big dip. Past that level, there's a dip. Pass through this level, there's a dip. Pass through this level, there's a dip, and there's your support line. You can always use the next levels before as your out, or as your level to watch before exiting your position. So always use these levels to know when to exit your position. Always take gains as soon as you can. When you're day trading, you usually are in and out of a stock. In and out of a stock. Day trading, you really do not hold stocks longer than maybe 10 minutes. But in some cases you do. Sometimes you have to allow your winners to run. And in some cases you do. You need to let your winners run. And I'll show you another. This is a 10-minute chart. We were charting the 10th here. So look at this level here. No, I'm sorry. We're already, yeah. So you see this level? That's from the previous minutes charts that we were looking at. But notice again the pricing at this level. This is charting back from May the 29th. May the 29th. Look at this bounce off of this purple line. These green lines also play an important role. Let's actually see when I actually charted this purple line. That's going to be 164.38 level. 164.38. Computer's going extremely slow. 164.38. See if we can close some things. Okay, 164.38. 164.38. Searching here. 164.38 is what we're looking for. Now, these things that you see here, these are actually trend lines that I've actually charted. So these are lines that actually go from, up, down. These are not really the lines that you actually see. These are actually these lines here. So that's what you see here. I actually have to go through and probably delete some of these because that's why it shows that it's too small. There's actually a lot of them in there. I'm not sure how that happened. 164.38. $164.38. Ah, just saw it. Okay, so as we see here, 164.38 was actually charted on 6/10, and I've been using this line since 6/10 of 2013. So that's when I created that line. Excuse me do apologize for my computer being slow in this video. But 6/10. So this is when I actually charted this level. So notice on 6/10, as I can get back to 6/10, so notice this is what I did, and this is how you start charting your charts. On 6/10, when I charted, and I believe I charted these right along with this purple line. This was a day that I didn't have any lines in this area, so I actually charted these lines for day trading. So as you see here, I colored this one green as it played a nice little role in this day, so I charted it green. Also charted this one green as well, as it also played a little bit of role in pricing action. I charted this purple only because look at this bounce off of the purple line. So of course this would be a different color line. This would represent very hard pricing action. And as you see, this line actually worked from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. But notice how that works out. Let's go to a 15-minute chart. Let's see how far back we can take the purple line. We could take it up to June 4th. Look at the pricing action here. I know I got a lot of lines here, but just look at the pricing action here. This is May 29th. Yeah, we saw this one already. But just notice the pricing action here in this purple line. This purple line is actually a really good level. Really good level. You can always go back and change the color of certain lines if you've seen pricing levels in that area. So it's okay to always go back and color those different lines if you need to. Totally up to you. I do recommend it because you do see different pricing action in that level. Notice that I do not have this level charted yet. I wasn't day trading the chart at the time, at SPY at this time, so I did not chart this area. Although I did chart this little line here, I'm not sure when I charted that. That might have been one of the 52 weeks highs. Once it started in that area, I'm not really sure, but just wanted to let you know that these lines really work. So this is part one. Part two, I'll show you how to start charting these different levels. And I'll show that to you in detail so you can actually start charting yours if you want to start day trading or even just swing trading. So we're going to go through a lot of different things. Again, this is my first video. Excuse me if I stumbled over any kind of words or if it wasn't as smooth as as it should be. I'm sorry. And that's it for this first video. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Again, this is part one. Stay tuned for part two. Thank you.